Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of our Icenia Rises campaign. I am Ben the Bold, you are you, and we are no longer the Iceni, we are actually the great and glorious people of Albion. Now, I do just want to show you our capital. Take a look at Venta. Venta is pretty much the largest city on Earth at the moment. There are 272 pops here, plus 87 civilization value, so we are very civilized and very dense. So I'm going to go ahead, and it looks like I need to just go ahead and build some aqueducts. I'm going to build as many aqueducts as I can. Just go ahead and bankrupt our country on aqueducts for Venta. I could even think about moving some pops out of Venta. I also just look at the number of slaves I have. That is mostly because, well, I have taken a lot, and I mean a lot of slaves from around Gaul at this point and sent them just back to Venta. I will have to go think about how, well, I'll have to think about building some temples here as well to increase our population, or our population assimilation. Because it's not super fast right now. I also should think about conversion. I'm going to leave it in the governor policy convert pops, but yeah, so I'm also losing a bunch of food every month here as well. So I have some kind of internal things that I need to get sorted out in Venta. Maybe I could think about moving some pops to, well, Brano Dunham also seems to be just filled to the brim, so I'm going to go ahead and build some aqueducts there as well. Let's go ahead and just build 3, because I have a feeling it's going to be a city on the move. And I might think about building another city here in the actual province of Icenia, just to get a little bit more out of the province. I don't necessarily know where I'd think about building it. Maybe here. Maybe there. We'll see. That might be something on the record for today, or at least a major goal for today. But even more importantly, it's going to be kind of cleaning up after this war. So I know, first of all, I want to go ahead and get rid of a lot of the mercenaries that I have taken. So we have a bunch of employed mercenaries. I think I should probably go ahead and fire them. Like, fire you, fire you, fire you. Man, I had a lot of mercs, didn't I? Fire you. Fire you. Fire you. Alright, and now I've, well, I have not necessarily bankrupted our country just from selling all these mercs back. But I have spent a ton of money, so I'm going to go ahead and just start moving some troops back towards Central Gaul. Although I will want to leave maybe a couple armies without generals over in the Germanic region. Like, if I look at my region map mode, I might want to, in Germania, just leave a couple armies without any generals, or maybe I could even, well, I'll have to wait until my manpower is built up again, but build a couple armies without any generals just to kind of police the province. Let's go ahead and hit that unpause button, start sending our troops back to areas where they are a little safer. Let's move you around. You can go here. This army can come back towards Central Gaul. Unfortunately, part of the difficulty with this game is just policing, or, you know, dealing with such a large empire. It takes me forever to walk across the whole empire. Let's bring you back to here. Yep, that seems like a decent spot. And you can come back to there, at least for now. Does that deal with all of my armies? Yeah, they all seem to be going back, except for you up here. You can come to there. Nope, you apparently can't. Alright, so I'll just load you on some ships. Oh, it's because you're in a tributary. We did gain a hopefully rather loyal tributary, although they don't necessarily love us, I don't think. Oh, in fact, they actually do. Just for now, I'm going to use, because I have plenty of political influence, going to use some of it to establish an embassy, just increase their likelihood of me? That's not really the best way to say that. Increase their opinion of me, that's a better way to say it. That should mean that they give me a little bit more gold per month. They give me currently 1.19 ducats per month. That's not amazing considering I get 72 gold per month. Wow, that is not terrible indeed. In fact, maybe I should think about building a bigger army. After all, I can't afford it. Of course, right now I can't build anything. I have no manpower. Looks like we had the slave... Ooh. Looks like we have a slave revolt. Where is this? Rebels gain an army in Gravniorium. Where is that? Let's pause it. Let's find Gravniorium. Yeah, well. Right there? Oh. Well. Looks like you're about to be dealt with. We're already moving into it. They're not going to take a single province. That was a dumb place to rebel. And you don't have a general in charge. Easy. Boom. Done. Slave revolt defeated. Let's, show us leniency. 3 surviving slaves will be resettled. Albion gave slave amnesty for 15 years. And national slave happiness up by 5%. I'll go ahead and take that. It's always, sometimes it is beneficial to not always bring down the iron fist upon your enemies, but to instead show leniency. And I understand. They have recently been colonized. Their brothers have recently been just destroyed on the battlefield. They're unhappy. And I get that. I understand. I am, after all, a loving ruler, and I love all of my pups. Until they rebel, in which case I will put them down with a lot of force. I'm going to definitely think about, and in fact, maybe I should just be doing this as I go, as I get more and more regions. Go back to the region map mode. Just, placing one army to be owned by the governor in each of these regions that I have. Especially considering I have I have such a fast manpower recovery speed. I have so much money that it's really not difficult for me to build another army. Maybe I should just do that. Let's go with you. I know you're not as good of a researcher, but you do give us more. You are 100% loyal, which gives us a little bit more political influence, which is of course good. Cohort recruit speed up, that could be fun. I'm gonna go with capital bonus. That's unfortunately all the money I have. Let's see, anyone willing to trade me anything? Yeah, let's go with some grain. I definitely want to start importing some food. And we'll trade away some veggies. That's alright. We are definitely going to have to kind of go crazy on the aqueducts, which is kind of sucks. I definitely would like to be building more and more libraries here. Let's just take a look at our kind of distribution. So currently 50%. It wants there to be 50% of my population in Venta to be citizens, which is good. However, right now I'm actually making a freeman because it wants it to be 27% there. So it is going to promote those slaves. I could build some more academies because that increases pop promotion speed. Or, in fact, I could think about actually going to social mobility because that really increases pop promotion speed by a lot. And that is good. But I think I am going to leave it on culture converting just because I have so many pops in that province of a different culture. Let's also come back to Germany, or Germania, kind of look at what we're dealing with over here. For the most part, the province is pretty loyal, it seems. Good. Urena seems to be the only place where I'm struggling with some unhappiness, and that seems to mostly be from the citizen unrest, because I bet they're unhappy about how low the civilization value is. I am going to leave it with just the local autonomy governor policy. I think that that is fairly decent just until I get a little bit more control of the region, gain some civilization. Of course, I could try to influence that a little bit more and go civilization effort. Because right now I'm not really getting much out of their population. Of course, we don't have very many pops there to get anything out of them. So local autonomy isn't, it may just be where I am. I could gain some 5 stability. Another country loses 40 influence on me. It's not my tributary, so I'm okay with that. I'll go ahead and accept a lot of those trade requests. I'll accept that one as well. I'm gaining so much money per month, I think it'd be smart to go ahead and just train some of my armies. Let's get them nice and strong. And I mean, still, I'm gaining 65 gold per month, and I'm going to keep on on with the national citizen output. I think that that is our best bet, at least at the moment, because that helps me gain some more research points. I'm actually going to go ahead and get subject opinion of us up by 10%. Now that I have a subject, that's not a completely useless thing anymore. Let's go ahead and bring these 16,000 troops home, as well as our navy. It'll come back to Brano Dunham. In fact, I might think about building another army just to kind of just have in Albion. Maybe I should put one in Ireland as well. It's been a while since we looked at Ireland. I don't really see a reason for them to still be on the governor. Ooh. Let's see, you have been centralizing for quite some time. Let's take a look at... Alright, so even though you've been centralizing for quite a while, your main settlement still only has 6 people in it. I'm actually going to go ahead and just found a city there. That way, maybe I will start to attract more people towards the city. I like the idea of there being a city there, at least. We'll see. I have plenty of political influence, so I am going to come over here and actually hit the entice business investments. Try to get another trade route. Trade routes are useful. Looks like Camelo Dunham can get a free granary, or I can lose 5 popularity, get a free foundry, or I can lose 10 popularity and just get some gold. I'll go ahead and just be happy with Camelo and Dunham's free granary. Let's see, that granary increases our provincial food capacity by 200. That's fine. Ooh, real quick, shadow in the night. Last night, Luctarius II Sonorus encountered 2 brute thugs on the way home. Fearing for his life, he barely managed to escape. Today, who should arrive to commiserate but Aluna Sonora, a self-avowed rival of Luctarius, flanked by the 2 very thugs who had committed the deed. Sadly, at this point, it is her word against that of the great emperor himself, Luctarius. I could say seize her anyway. It's going to make me lose a little bit of popularity, although just 5, I'm very popular. And she is one of my good admirals, although, no, I take it back, she's not a great admiral. I can put an end to this nonsense, lose some family prestige, and stop seeing her as a rival. Alright, so at least in the current build of the game, I don't think family prestige does anything, plus my family prestige is super high at 2,400, so I'm going to go ahead and just put an end to this. There's no reason to hold a grudge, after all. Let's go ahead, trade away some of our base metals and stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, the granary allows for provincial food capacity up by 200%. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That's okay. I'll be happy with that. Let's go ahead and just go get another library in Camelo Dunham after all. In London, this is also a fairly large city. I think I'm going to go ahead and promote infrastructure spending so that I can get more building slots in Camelo Dunham, Londinium, as well as Duroverum. Just modern day Dover, I'll keep saying that. It also should probably get an aqueduct because it is almost filled to the brim of people. We want more people in those cities after all. We had an aqueduct finish here. Gosh, we are losing pops in this city very quickly. We can't build these aqueducts fast enough. Of course, some cities, or some Some libraries would be good here too. I hate how I have 15 aqueducts and only 5 libraries. I'm definitely going to want to build more of them. Trade away some precious metals, why not? As well as some hemp, why not? Grain, I'll hold on to. As you can tell, our manpower number is not ticking up. That's because we are reinforcing these armies that were decimated in the last war. However, as these continue to reinforce... Is this one army of 21,000 men? Yeah, you're going to take some attrition there. Let's send you somewhere where you won't take any attrition. How about way across the world over here? In, I guess, where is that? Calais? Earthenware. Nope. Hemp. Grain, no. Any other inventions we want? That ruler popularity gain is good. Global monthly food modifier. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I am just wanting to make sure that I have plenty of food. I'll go ahead and accept that one. I don't think it's going to derail our food situation too much. I'm going to go back to this province view mode and just see where we are. For instance, is there any reason why Brigatania is on culture converting? No, there's not. So let's think about what is best here. We have quite a heavy population in this city. Let's go ahead and build you 2 aqueducts. That sounds good, as well as a bunch of libraries. It's been a while since we've kind of just done a massive building project in our nation. I feel like that is really where maybe this episode is mostly going to go, because after all, we do need to recover a little bit from our last war. So let's continue to just build up. There's no reason you should be on culture converting or religious converting. I think I'm actually going to go social mobility with you just to help, once these libraries finish, just to help more of these pops promote to the proper... Just to help these pops promote into the proper pop type that I would like. After all, I want more citizens, and I definitely don't want these tribesmen. They are promoting rather quickly, so that's good. I could build an academy here, although I'm actually out of building slots. Are you a city as well? You are not. So I'm actually going to go ahead and save up the political influence. I'm going to turn this into a city as well. I think 2 cities in this province is just fine. Looks like the... I thought that my tributary had just stopped giving me tribute. I definitely didn't want that. Looks like my import route has finally finished. Let's see. Anything real good? Livestock's fine. Wood's good. That's going to give me a local tax up 3%. Look at all this wood I have to trade away. Let's just find one. How about you? That would be... Yeah, perfect. Cool. At this point, I don't think you need to be in centralized population anymore, since most of our pops are in that city. I'm going to go ahead and build an aqueduct here. Maybe 2, actually, as well. And let's get rid of this governor policy, and instead, let's have it focusing on social mobility. Get rid of some of these tribesmen. I think with civilization of 62, there's really no reason we should have this many tribesmen anymore. Is there a way to just look at all the pops for my entire nation? Yes. So I do have a ton of tribesmen, a ton of slaves, and only 384 citizens. So I really need to try to make this... I would love it if I could get, at least half the country to be citizens. It's going to help get rid of this warning, this bad research ratio. Yeah, we definitely need this to be better. So we have to, I think we have to build, we're just going to have to build more and more cities. And then, of course, build libraries in those cities, yada, yada, yada. Let's take out over here. Where am I centralizing to? Right here. This is definitely a large city enough city to get an aqueduct, large enough city to get another library, and large enough where I'm going to stop the centralization effort and instead change it to social mobility. Alright, there's been a scandal. We can either say it's none of our business. We'll lose some loyalty with one of our governors. Our governor of Germania Superior. Don't really want that. Our steward could lose 10 prominence and lose their position in the government. Or I could just have him flogged. Just gonna have him lose his position. Oh no! Our court philosopher is blind. Poor woman. Let's go ahead. Don't want to hire you because you're not loyal at all. Let's go with you. Gundeman? Sure, you seem cool. And now you're very loyal. Awesome. Good for you. Thank you for being my friend. Let's keep looking around. This probably doesn't need to be in centralized population anymore, especially because I only have one city here. So let's change this as well to social mobility. And now I'm going to stop changing these governor policies so that I can tick up to 50 goal or 50 political influence so that I can build some more build another city. Let's go to population out mode. Let's just take a look at some of our heavy population centers, see what other kinds of buildings we can build there. I'm going to go ahead and let you know it's going to be aqueducts, libraries, and academies. Let's build another library here. We also might need to think about building more cities in the land we control, actually, in mainland Europe. At this point, we are not only, I think, not only do we have these huge islands, you know, the British Isles, but also I think we're practically the largest nation in Europe as well. We would be a force to be reckoned with if we just owned this, but really our breadbasket, our moneymaker, is this very well-protected land up here in Great Britain. That's awesome. That's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and bring my navy back, and actually I'm going to build on to this one a little bit, because after all, if they can't touch us on the high seas, they just can't touch us, period. Because our real moneymaker is right here in Great Britain. Looks like we have a new city. Wonderful. And I've already forgotten where I decided to build that, and I already forgot the name of it. So that's just going to be a new city that we have. Cool. Good for it. Oh, it was over here, right? Yeah, here we go. It's a new city. I'm going to go ahead and build 2 libraries on it. Wonderful. And maybe an academy. This is really just prepping for, I might actually think about paying to move some pops here. Because so far no one is. Let's make it a large city. It's going to be a large slave town at the moment, but we're going to move a lot of our yeah, so now it has 36 pops out of 37. See, that's perfect. Go ahead and trade away some furs, that's fine. Nah, decline that one. Yeah, so now we're going to build those libraries and academy, and we'll start seeing more pops promote into citizens and freemen. That's exactly what we want. Less pops as slaves, more pops as citizens and freemen. You can already tell that we are just starting to pile up the manpower. That's good. We can start thinking about our next avenue of expansion. It would be nice if we fought just a nice little quick war instead of a long slugfest like our last war against the Simonians. We did, however, do a great deal of damage to just the kind of central barbarian migratory tribe power base here in central Germany. We also now have the Jutland Peninsula as a tributary. So I do think that that last war was worth it, especially considering how fast we can kind of recover from our wars. Obviously, a war with a major civilized power would be a little different. Honestly, it might be a little easier just because of all the just hordes and hordes of men that the barbarians could throw at us. That's not to say that Rome couldn't toss some troops our way too. They have 196 cohorts right now, which is quite a lot. Let's actually just take a look at the ledger, see who's leading the cohort race. Egypt, Maria, Carthage, Rome, and then me. So I might actually try to Think about building another 50,000 or 50 cohorts to kind of even the score a little bit. That's really only 2 armies of 25 anyway. Oh, looks like we have a petition. Sounds like our Governor Urca, nicknamed the Wolf. Good for her. Although she kind of sucks at her job. She's inflexible, lustful. She's got Mentagra. She's greedy. She's got diphtheria. Well, she should have taken her vaccine. Anyway, Urca, we can say that Urca's doing a fine job. We can send a representative to ensure the rules are being followed. Urca is going to lose a lot of loyalty, and in fact, she's very not loyal right now. We could remove the miser. I think this is a good opportunity to remove a governor who is not exactly super happy with us, so let's go ahead and remove Urca. Sorry, Urca. And instead, let's put someone with a little bit more loyalty in charge. How about you, Kata? Please don't be almost dead. Yeah, of course you're almost dead. Either way, she's very loyal. Good for her, I guess. We'll trade away some earthenware, some fishware. Perfect, perfect. Alright, let's look at another invention. Monthly wages for characters. We could reduce that by 10%. Currently yeah, that seems to be worth it. So we'll go ahead and monthly wages down. That's fine. What is this? Endorse party cost. Oh, well, that doesn't do me much good. Enact law cost minus 15%. Well, are there any laws we want to change? Let's check it out. We could get courts for landowners. Well, I don't want to increase desired citizen ratio in cities. Yeah, I want that. That's going to put my local governor loyalty up by 0.05 per month and local general loyalty down by 0.05 per month. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Especially since this policy gives monthly general loyalty up by 5% anyway. So I think the relaxed citizenship status is actually a pretty good law to grab at this time. After all, that's going to increase the number of citizens that I want without having to just spam libraries everywhere. Don't get me wrong, I am not above spamming libraries everywhere. Looks like we have a prisoner who has escaped. I should have just killed him when I had the chance, it looks like. Although, I don't know who he is. I did not necessarily care that he was even in prison. That's how little the great Emperor Luctarius cares about his prisoners. Let's go ahead and build some more troops. Let's make a nice heavy army, shall we? Let's move you down to there, and let's recruit some cohorts. I'm going to recruit 5 warriors to start with. I'll recruit 5 warriors to start with. I'm thinking it'll be 20,000 men. 5 warriors to kind of have a good battle line. I'll do 5 heavy cavalry. I think I'll put the heavy cavalry as my... I can choose, the primary cohorts, the secondary cohorts, and the flanking cohorts. And I think I would do heavy cavalry as the primary, because it's the first ones to engage, and normally I've seen that the AI likes to do archers as the primary cohort, so I could put heavy cavalry there and just mow down the archers. I could put the secondary cohorts to fill in, kind of hold the line, and then some light cav. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So let's also build some heavy cavalry to this army. Let's do 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And how are you as a flanking force? Maybe chariots as a flanking force? Because they are good against light cavalry, so if they put light cavalry as their flanks, then of course so are my heavy cavalry. They're actually better at that. Oh, but let's take a look at the maneuver. So yeah, light cavalry, I want the high maneuver. Of course, duh. So let's go ahead and build 5 of you as well. Military restructuring. Ooh, I really like this necklace that Idwalda has. Very nice, Idwalda. Where can I get one? Yeah, that's wonderful. She's the general of the 14th Warband. Good for her, good for her. Making her way in the world. Unfortunately, she is rather old and approaching... Actually, she's gaining health. Good for her. Oh, but she's losing a lot of loyalty. I could have her gain 5 loyalty. She might become more ambitious, but her armies would have better morale. I'll just go ahead and do that. I'm not necessarily worried about disloyal generals at the current moment because, well, I think I have enough manpower to put down any rebellion. Plus, I have all the gold in the world to hire any mercenaries I deem necessary. We'll go ahead and trade away some furs. Ooh, unfortunately, we have a death. Look at this badass with her eye patch. Good for her. I mean, well, it's sad that she's dead, but she was obsessive. She won't be missed. Mostly because I don't care super a lot about my characters. We'll go ahead and put you in charge. You have high loyalty. Good. Oh, you don't have a consort? I'm sorry, man. I don't want you to die alone. Although, I also don't love any of the potential spouses. No, you're almost dead. There's no reason to get you married. Sorry, man. Let's take a look at who is going to take over when you die. You are a decent but not great ruler, it seems, and you are the general of the 6th Warband. So, you've got some popularity going for you. Good. Well, you definitely need a marriage. I'm sorry about that. Let's give you this nice, lovely lady, Governor Onwin. Splendid. Let's arrange the festivities. Perfect. Hopefully you'll have some children. Ooh, would you look at that? We have almost crossed that 200 research points per month threshold. That's great and all good and fine. Just checking to see if there were any other inventions that I wanted. None at the moment. Alright, let's change this up a little bit. I'm going to put heavy cavalry in the front, heavy infantry in the battle line, and the flanking cohorts will be in the secondary cohorts, or the flanking cohorts will be light cavalry. Let's find a decent general who's also loyal. I'm going to go with you, Luctarius Marganus, and start you training. Still, I'm just gaining so much money per month, I really can't spend it fast enough. Of course, maybe I will get build costs down 5%, although is it really worth it to get build costs down 5%? Because I'm making so much money, I'm not worried about build cost. Do you know what I am worried about? My political influence. Now that I have 50 of it, I'm going to go ahead and build a city here. It's a nice port city, so that should be useful. It can be like a twin city across the river from Hasulum. Good for it. Let's go ahead and build some cities, or some buildings in Hasulum. Seems like we have some happiness issues here. I wonder what that's about. We'll have to see. Granaries raided. Oh no! I'm just going to do this one. We'll lose a bunch of gold, but I don't really care because I make so much gold anyway. Let's go ahead and just make another aqueduct, or a library here. Perfect. And here we go. We'll just start ticking up that political influence again. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually add another 5 warriors to this army. I have the manpower, I have the money, and I have the willpower. Alright, we have had a succession crisis. Unfortunately, the great general, the great Emperor Luctarius has passed away. His son, Divicacus, has taken over. He is a decent man. He's kind, humble, disciplined, but also can be a little jealous sometimes. So he has taken over. He has no children. He will hopefully start to have some children. But at least for now, he roams the halls of the palace alone. Well, sometimes he says hi to his wife, Onwin, although she is often out busy being the governor of Belgica. So he just walks the palace in Venta alone, thinking about the next place he could conquer. After all, he is a disciplined military man. He did used to be a general and has fought in many wars, specifically the great, huge war against the Simonians. It is troubling times indeed, though, because there are two pretenders who have actually raised arms and are trying to take the throne for themselves. I'm not at all worried about them. Let's... He has at least kind of high finesse. He's losing loyalty per month. Let's check it out. Let's see who is next in line for the throne. That would be Emmanutus Sonorus. He's the master of the guard. Although once we have a son, hopefully that will change. Seems like most people, he has a lot of supporters. Most people seem pretty down with him taking over. Unfortunately, our stability is extremely low right now. So I think I'm going to come over to the religion tab, and I cannot hit the stab the pig button because I don't have the money to do it. Looks like I have some barbarian troubles. Let's go ahead and just put you on defend borders. Yep. Let's also do the same for you. If I put you on fight rebels, do you go anywhere? No, we'll put you on defend borders. And yet you still have decided not to go anywhere. I guess maybe it's because this army is going to come clear that up, although... Yeah, there you go. Now you're going to go take care of it. Wonder where those barbarians came from. It looks like this province right here. So, we should think... I actually think I might want to put a fortress down here. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I have, after all, plenty of money to do so. Might as well build a fortress to hold that passage. And in fact, maybe I should be building fortresses all over this land that I've colonized. Let's build a fort maybe here as well. This fort can be in memory of the great victory we had in this settlement as the hordes of Simonians tried to cross the river. We held them off, we pushed them back. And after that fight, they never again had any chance of winning the war because they ended up having to shattered retreat all the way back to their capital. We were able to push in to this riverfront. We held behind that river for a little while and then invaded from the north, causing them to have to give additional troops up into the northern regions. It was honestly quite a fun war to fight. I really enjoyed it a lot. Maybe I should think about going ahead and colonizing those last two provinces. Let's just move some pops here if we can. Move all these Icenia pops around, and then I will go ahead and colonize all of these locations. Wonderful. Just wonderful. I might see the Bohemians, or sorry, the Bohemians as a potential avenue of expansion. Let's see if they're allied to anyone. They are, but they're only allied to one country. They do have a small defensive league. Honestly, that would be fairly straightforward and fairly easy, I think, compared to some of the wars we have been fighting. Good, you're going back to your just in general locations. Let's go ahead and hit that citizen output button again. Wonderful. Looks like we're about to have a civil war in 35 months. Why is that? It's because 17% of the power base in the country is disloyal. The threshold is due. Okay. So, we need to increase our stability if we want to hold off on not having a civil war. I'm also not super worried about a civil war. I think we could handle anything that comes our way. We just have two armies that seem willing to rebel. I hardly think that that is a power base worth worrying about. I could also talk to you, maybe bribe you, and then... I could pay 25 influence, and a random subunit of the army has a chance to desert. Where is your army? 8th Warband. Does it tell me where you are? Like, you know how in CK2 it'll tell you exactly where they are in the map? If it does and I'm missing it, let me know in the comments. Ooh, why do I have 60,000 men just sitting on top of each other here? Let's have you go anywhere else. Actually, I'm going to have you come here for now because I actually want to take this army of 27,000 men and remove them from the continent, take them back to Albion just in case. Okay, looks like there's one of these armies. 42,000 is quite the number. I'm going to go ahead and encourage some disloyalty. In fact, they did have a bunch of their men rebel. I have... Is that me in charge? Yes, it is. So I'm in charge of this army. Let's go ahead and just build this army up a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and give it another 5 heavy cavalry and another 5 mounted skirmishers. I'm going to change the preferred flank size to 10. I dare you to come fight this army now. This is a wrecking ball of an army. And one that is definitely not meant for fighting in the very low supply unit areas of, like, Germany. This is very much an army that is designed to fight within Albion itself. I think I'm going to maybe try to leave this as our Emperor's army. So it's like an army that will hopefully be passed down from Emperor to Emperor. I think that that is just a good way to just ensure that I don't have any big rebellions on what I like to call my island. After all, I'm a great and glorious Emperor Divicacus Sonorus. That is me in charge, right? No, it's not. Can I put myself in charge? You're at least loyal though, right? Yeah, you're 70% loyal. I would like to put myself in charge. Am I doing something else? Oh, you know what? Am I the general somewhere else? Do I have to go around individually to all my armies and check? Let's load these 18,000 men up, move them across. No, I'll leave the 18,000. You back. I want the 27,000. Load you up. Have you cross to Dover. Okay, so this is me. So I'm going to go ahead and just get another army for this, or another general for this 15,000 men. I think you would work. Losing loyalty, but I think that's going to be remedied. Alright, basically. And now, in a couple months, I will be able to come here and put Divicacus Sonorus. So, yeah, in 12 months. So the Civil War were not fired by then. Perfect. Create a Emperor's Army. I may even rename it. They call it Army of Albion. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use some corruption, gain some loyalty, also gain some familial prestige, although I'm not necessarily worried about that. I'm going to go monthly popularity gain, monthly ruler popularity gain. Why not? Let's keep him nice and popular. We're getting more citizens. We're currently at 11.28%. That's not the most, but it's also not the worst. I might actually build even more men into this army. After all, we are currently outnumbered. I kind of wouldn't even mind fighting a civil war. Gives me something to do. It's kind of fun. Oh, this is that other army. Okay. Gerventio becomes a city and it's producing dyes. Very cool, very cool. Let's go ahead and just build some buildings in it. I'm thinking we go with some libraries. Let's do 2 libraries and an academy. I think I'm going to go ahead and just try to ring some of these armies in. Let me move. No, I'll wait. Let's go ahead and encourage some deserters here as well. Yep, they lost some men. Alright, we have another military tradition available. Now, if I do take this, it's going to drop me back down to 0 military experience, which means that I won't be able to hire any mercenaries for a while, but I'm not super worried about that. Light infantry defense up by 10% actually is very good, so is archer offense. I am rolling with a lot of light infantry at the moment, just because they don't take up much supply. Of course, I could say the same thing about archers. I have a lot of archers at the moment as well. And most of my armies tend to have archers in it. Although, I actually am working my way down to this army attrition. So I'm going to go ahead and do the light infantry defense up by 10%. That's actually pretty good, considering how many light infantry I have. Come on, I dare y'all to rebel. We can take you. Go ahead and trade away some furs, why not? And decline the grain offer. Anyway, that's where I'm going to have to call it quits for today. We didn't do any expanding, we just did a lot of internal maintenance and rebuilding our manpower a little bit. We do have a new emperor. We do have a rebellion looming, which I'm kind of excited to put down. We will probably look to expand some more in the next episode, either whether it be here in Gaul or maybe going after Bohemia will be a good goal for the next episode. Just quickly taking a look, I want to see what Rome is doing. They actually seem to be... Oh, are they fighting Getia? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So Rome is attempting to expand some. So is Carthage, of course. It is doing a little bit in Hispania. And then, of course, this is falling apart. Anyway, I've been Ben the Bold. You have been you. And I hope you tune in for another episode tomorrow.